What if Snickers could attack Reese's without ever saying Reese's was a bad candy? Instead of launching another boring comparison ad, Snickers found something far more personal. It found people named Reese's. Then it gave them Snickers peanut butter. And somehow, the people literally carrying Reese's name were suddenly praising Snickers. That sounds like a joke, but this was a real campaign, and it raises a much bigger question. Was Snickers simply promoting a new peanut butter product, or did it just find one of the smartest ways to hijack its biggest rival's identity? Because if this worked, Snickers didn't just sell a candy bar. It turned Reese's own name into advertising for Snickers. And by the end, we'll see why this little marketing stunt could reveal something much bigger about how modern brands fight for your attention. If you enjoy brand rivalries where companies don't just compete, they try to outsmart each other, subscribe to Production Pathway, because this rivalry gets stranger from here.
Chapter 1. The Territory.
For years, Snickers and Reese's had very different identities. Snickers owned chocolate, caramel, nougat, and peanuts. Reese's owned chocolate and peanut butter. That difference mattered because Reese's didn't simply sell peanut butter candy. It became deeply associated with the combination. H.B. Reece created the original peanut butter cup in 1928, and the brand has spent decades building an enormous family of peanut butter products. So when Snickers launched peanut butter, it wasn't entering an empty category. It was walking directly into Reese's territory. But Snickers didn't copy the Reese's formula. It brought its own weapons: creamy peanut butter, crunchy peanuts, caramel, nougat. And suddenly the question wasn't, can Snickers make peanut butter candy? It was, can Snickers make peanut butter feel like Snickers? That distinction is everything. Because if it could, Snickers wouldn't have to become Reese's. It could become the alternative to Reese's. And that was the first move.
Chapter 2. The Invasion.
The product itself was only half the strategy. Snickers positioned peanut butter around something Americans already argue about: creamy versus crunchy. Its product combines creamy peanut butter with crunchy peanuts alongside the familiar Snickers ingredients. On the surface, that's just product positioning, but look closer. Reese's owns the classic peanut butter association. Snickers owns caramel, nougat, and peanuts. So Snickers wasn't trying to erase Reese's advantage, it was trying to combine Reese's strongest territory with its own. And that creates a dangerous possibility. A consumer walks into a store thinking, I want peanut butter. For years, Reese's could naturally enter that conversation. Now Snickers wants to be there too. That sounds small, but brands are built inside these tiny mental shortcuts. And once a challenger enters that shortcut, the market leader has to defend it. But Snickers still had one problem. It needed Americans to notice. So it didn't make another candy commercial, it built a trap.
Chapter 3. The Reese Trap.
This is where the campaign goes from clever to almost ridiculous. Snickers created what looked like a normal focus group. People tasted the new product, they reacted. They discussed the flavor, they gave their opinions. But there was one extraordinary detail. They were named Reese, or Rhys, or Reese. The campaign, created by BBDO and directed by comedian Eric Andre, deliberately turned the focus group into a jab at Hershey-owned Reese's. Campaign US described it as a direct hit on the rival's sweet spot, and that's why the campaign works visually. You aren't watching a traditional comparison, you're watching people whose names resemble the rival brand praise Snickers. Snickers didn't have to say, Reese's is bad. It created something more memorable: Reese's choosing Snickers. And now the campaign had a story people could repeat. But Snickers wasn't finished, because the smartest part came after the joke.
Chapter 4. The Name Becomes the Weapon.
Snickers turned the concept into a real promotion. It launched a peanut butter pledge, inviting Americans named Reese, including variations like Reece and Rhys, to publicly declare their love for Snickers peanut butter. The official promotion even reserved gifts for the first 100 eligible entrants who qualified by name. Think about what Snickers had just done. A competitor's name became a marketing tool. That is much more aggressive than simply launching another peanut butter product. Snickers was effectively saying, if your name is Reese, you can still choose us. And suddenly, the rival's identity wasn't something Snickers had to avoid. It became the center of the campaign. Marketing Dive described the push as Snickers trying to win over the Reese's of the US. But here's where I think the strategy becomes genuinely controversial, because attention is not the same as victory. A person can laugh, share the ad, comment on the joke, and still buy Reese's tomorrow. So Snickers now has a much harder problem. It has to turn entertainment into behavior.
Chapter 5. The Real Battle.
This is where the funny rivalry becomes serious. Reese's doesn't need to beat Snickers on social media. It needs to protect something much harder to attack: habit. Think about the checkout aisle. You see the orange packaging, you know the taste. You already know what you're getting. You don't need to think. That's brand power. Snickers can buy attention. It can create controversy. It can make Reese's name part of its own campaign. But can it make a Reese's buyer hesitate? Because that tiny moment is where the real battle happens. If someone who automatically reaches for Reese's suddenly thinks, maybe I'll try Snickers peanut butter, Snickers has achieved something important. It didn't destroy Reese's, it simply entered the decision. And once a challenger enters the decision, the market leader has to fight for the choice. So here's the question. Would this campaign actually make you switch from Reese's peanut butter to Snickers peanut butter? Or is Snickers winning the internet while Reese's keeps winning the checkout aisle?
So who really won?
So did Snickers beat Reese's? No, not yet. But that's not what makes this campaign interesting. Snickers identified Reese's biggest strength, the association between peanut butter and the Reese's name. Then it built a product around peanut butter and turned the name itself into the punchline. That's smart, but it's also a gamble. Because the moment you challenge a brand's strongest association, you create a much bigger question. Can consumers separate the craving from the brand that owns it? If they can, Snickers has opened a serious new battlefield. If they can't, this could become one of the smartest advertisements that changed almost nothing. And that's why this rivalry isn't really about the focus group. It isn't even about the peanut butter pledge. It's about what happens the next time someone stands in front of a candy shelf. They see Reese's, then they see Snickers peanut butter, and for the first time, they have to think. That's the moment Snickers wanted. Because sometimes winning a brand war doesn't mean destroying your competitor. Sometimes you just need to make the customer hesitate.